Okay, we're getting close, everybody. We're in our last 50 minutes or so of class, and I want to go over these next two features. Angie, there's actually, I think, a charger here if you want to plug it in. Okay, so we have two features we need to go over. The first one's called the blend tool, and the second one's called live paint. So both of these we will probably look at again at another point in the quarter. Live paint's going to be kind of a big part of our conversation from here on out. It's going to be kind of a constant dialogue. So remember, I place value on certain tools. Live paint is one of those. Live paint is a really big player in what we do in my classes. So this is our brief introduction to it, but we're going to go over blend first. Okay, so you'll notice that I have a blank document. I'm going to reset my workspace. So I'll do this a lot at home too, where I've been working for a couple hours and I've been using all sorts of features and I have panels floating all over the place, and I just realized this is too sloppy. I'm going to reset. So I'm going to reset my workspace again. And I always tear away the layers panel. That's, it's really important. I want to make sure that I can easily get to it, not have to click on a button to have it populate open. Okay, so what I'd like you to do, we're going to do this together. What I'd like you to do is I want you to draw two shapes, two ellipses, and I want them, they can be different sizes, but I want them to be different colors, but don't put a stroke on it. Different colors, but no stroke. Okay, so you'll see I have two shapes. And you'll notice that in our outline layer, it shows that I have two ellipses. Right? I'm going to select both of these objects. So I'm hitting Command A, or I'm drawing a box around them, or I'm going to hold Shift down, click on the first one, click on the second one. I want to activate both of those shapes. Okay, so I'm going to hover over here to my toolbar, and you'll notice that I have an icon that looks like a circle that's morphing into a square. And when I hover over this, it's called a blend tool. It's the blend tool. Now, I don't like using this icon. What I like to do is I like to access the tool through the object menu. So if I go to the object menu, to review the object menu, I have file management from transform to show all. I have something called expansion from expand to make pixel perfect. And then I have sort of like high-level features, high-level Illustrator features, more advanced features from slice all the way to the bottom. And the one that I'm looking for is called blend. So you'll notice it has a menu dedicated to it. So I made two shapes, I have them selected, and I have the ability to go to the options, or I can just make the object. So I'm going to start off by just making the object, and let's see what happens. All right, so I'm going to select blend and then select make. Okay, so what did I get? What did I get? You'll notice that it released in my layers what's called the blend object or a blend group. And if I open up the blend, you'll notice that it shows my original red circle and my blue circle. And it created another object called the path. So I have my original circles and this path, and it converted it into this blend-like object. And when I click on top of it, it shows it. Here's my first circle, here's my second circle, here's the path. Okay? Now let's say you don't like the blend. I'm not happy with it. You can always go back to the object menu, go back to the blend submenu, and select release. And that'll break them apart. Okay, so I want you to do this again, but in this case, draw 3 different shapes. And in this case, I'm not going to use all ellipses. I'm also going to add a polygon. In this case, it's a 3-sided poly and a star. And I'm going to make them all different colors. Which shape did I draw first? Which shape did I draw first? The circle. And which shape did I draw last? Star. Okay, good. So, and the reason I'm pointing that out is that the blend is influenced by the stacking order. And it's also going to connect them based on the order in which they were made. So it's going to connect the ellipse to the polygon to the star. It's going to follow the order in which they are made. Okay? So I'm going to select all 3, and I'm going to go back to Object, go back to Blend, and then select Make. So you'll notice that in this case, it blended all 3 shapes together. Right? So it blended from the ellipse to the triangle to the star. So you can see that the blend works with really complicated shapes. It doesn't have to be the same shape, doesn't have to be the same color. It's very flexible that way. Now, you'll notice that they are in a group. They're called the blend group. So if I select the ellipse, what happens if I move it? What happens if I move the ellipse? You'll notice the blend follows it. Okay, you'll notice the blend follows it. What if I click the polygon and rotate it? You'll notice the blend follows it. What if I click on the star and rotate the star? The blend follows it. So it always updates based on the position of the objects within the blend. Okay? And then last but not least, you know, this blend also made a path. It also made a path. So that means that the path has anchors. So here's one of the anchors for my path. I use the white arrow to select the anchor. We did this today. I'm going to extract handles. You'll notice that when I extract the handles and manipulate the shape, look, the blend follows the contours of the smooth path. Okay, so the blend has a lot of flexibility. But here's the deal, guys. Well, I love this tool. I think it's beautiful and it's really fun and exciting. How often do you think I've used this feature? What do you think? Very rarely, because it's just very unique. It's an object that I don't know if my clients would want me to draw stuff like this. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's a really cool feature. I call it eye candy, but it's not really something that I would use on a regular basis. Okay? So I'd like everybody to draw one of these blends, and I'm going to do one more just for the sake of example. And in this case, I'm going to draw them. I'm going to make 4 circles. And I'm going to make them all different colors. A yellow one, a red one, an orange one, a green one. And when I blend them together, they're going to look like a gummy worm. Right? So it has this kind of gummy worm quality. And if I click on the anchors and make them smooth, go smooth, anchor. There we go. This kind of reminds me of gummy worms a little bit.